Okay, fine. So let's have a discussion, what all skill sets you need in order to get your first high paying job, right? So let me tell you number one part, which I think is so important. So before you go for a job, it's very important that why someone will pay you more money, because, and I'm writing here, it's why someone will pay you more money than others, or let's say a high job because you're gonna have results. So make sure what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that in coming 6 months, I want you to achieve as many as results possible, right? Because people are gonna pay you for results, right? So if you can tell them, what all value you can bring in, what all results you have got, and what results you can bring in their own business, it's gonna add a lot of value, right? So we'll talk about what exactly I'm talking about when I'm talking about results. Let's say, for example, if you're doing search engine optimization, the point is, how many keywords have you tried ranking for your own website? Number one, so how many keywords have you ranked? Point number two is how many blogs you have written. So let's say I'm writing, which is how many keywords have you ranked, which is important. Keywords have you ranked. Next is, let's say, how many blogs you have written. This is again very important, because if you write content, if you optimize it, and let's say, for example, what if I tell you to write a couple of blogs and then optimize it using some amazing softwares, so that you're going to have a data driven approach and you start ranking those pages as well, right? So next is, how many blogs have you written, because this is important for search engine optimization. How many blogs have you optimized? This is again very important. And at Brandvida, we use amazing softwares to do this activity, right? So we're using all premium softwares to do this, because what I want is, I want you to get results when it comes to, search engine optimization, or Google ads, or let's say Facebook advertisement, or email automation, or AI, for example. So results are very, very, very important, right? So how many blogs you've written, or let's say, how many blogs have you optimized? This is again very important. How many blogs you're optimized? Next is, what I want is, I want you to work on backlinks. So how many quality backlinks you have generated? This is important. So how many backlinks you have generated? Next thing is, which is very important, how many outreach you have done. So keep this in mind. I've seen people in search engine optimization, if you're going for good job, people want you to get some good links. So how many good authority links have you built? This is again very important. So I'm talking about, quality links. And in SEO, there is a very important concept which is known as, link earning, which is, what you do is, you start approaching all big bloggers, you outreach them, you pitch them, and you try to get links, right? So we build links on a daily basis. So next question is, how many outreach have you done? Let's say, for example, guest posting. So how many guest posting you have done? So this is just an example, but what I want is, I want you to get all the results. This is something very important. People are going to ask you, which is very important. Let's say technical optimization, for example. So there are a lot of parts into it. But what I want is, I want you to make sure that you work on some live project and try to get as many as results. So this is an example I'm sharing with you from search engine optimization perspective. You need to bring real results, right? And that's how you're going to get your confidence. So you'll not say in an interview that you have learned SEO, probably you know what exactly works in search engine optimization. So we're going to give you a system, we're going to tool, we're going to give you mentoring, so that you will start getting results. And that's how you will get confidence as well. That's how you will start seeing that your worth is now increasing, which is very, very important. So this is just an example. Probably I'll talk a lot about this, but this is an example. So make sure that you focus on results. This is so important. So let's say, if you can do audit, or if you can make a plan, or if you can make a forecasting, let's say if I ask you, like, if I'm having a website, what all content can I create in next 1 month? And how much traffic can I expect in 1 month? What can be my investment? So these are the questions, strategical questions, you should know about search engine optimization. So this is important. I'm just giving you an idea, but the point is, what I want is, I want you to bring some real results, right? Let's say, for example, if you're going for, let's say Google ads, for example, or let's say paid media, what I want is, I want you to get real results. I want you to start with your own campaign. I want you to look into some of the big campaign. Let's say, for example, I'm going to give you a campaign of, let's say, 2 lakh rupees to 5 lakh rupees campaign, because we spend a lot on Google ads, and it's been a long time I've been working with Google ads. So what I want is, I want you to get into core optimization, which is important. So why people pay you more money? Because you can tell them, look, I know Google Ads, I worked on some good campaigns, I know how to optimize it, and I don't have a fear, if you give me a task of putting 1 lakh rupees in Google Ads, I can do that as well. So it means you know how to optimize it, you know how to plan it, very important, you know how to do automations in Google Ads, which is automations, and how to optimize it, or you can do media planning. This is again very important. So the point is, what results do you have? This is so important. So whether you are learning Google Ads or PPC or social media, you need to bring results, which is very important. Fine. So we'll talk about automations. We'll talk about some tools which can help you to do good in Google Ads. We talk about planning, but all these things need to be done. This is very important. So if you want to get good salary, make sure you must have use cases, which is very important. So I'm going to give you a lot of use cases which can really take your skills to a next level. If we talk about social media, which is very important, so what I want is, I want you to create content. This is important. I want you to create some content using AI also, which is important. I want you to work on social media calendar. I want you to work on some real campaign. Let's say I want you to work on some good campaign, which is paid ads. So let's say, for example, I want you to spend some money, or together we can do it. I want you to get insights, about Twitter campaign or Facebook campaign or LinkedIn campaign or Twitter campaign. Obviously, in this specific course, we talk a lot about, paid advertising when you're targeting, cold audience or hot audience, or let's say retarget audience. We're going to talk about all these things. So you should know social media. And the point is, do you have results? So how many content you have pasted? So let's say, even if you're not graphic designer or content writer, what I want is, I want you to go through this journey. Because if you go through this journey, you'll be in better position to coordinate with your team members. Let's say someone from graphic designing or content marketing, or let's say someone from web development team. So this is important. So what I want is, I want you to bring some real results. I want you to grow your own social media account as well, right? So this is something which is very important. So what I want is, let's say if you're starting with social media, I want you to grow your Twitter account. I want you to grow your Facebook page. I want you to grow your LinkedIn connections. I want you to generate from LinkedIn. I want you to generate, let's say, leads from Twitter as well. So I want you to get into social media. So these are some examples which I'm telling it to you. Hope you're getting my point, which is, try to get as many as results in social media. That's how you will bring a lot of value to a customer, straight from paid ads to organic to automations or AI or media planning. We should be getting into it. This is important. I also want you to get into a concept which is so important, is building funnels and systems. Because I can tell you, all big people, people who are spending a lot on digital media, they work on system. So it's not about source like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. It's all about having a full-fledged system. So we're going to work on funnels as well. And I'm going to talk about 6 very important type of funnels. Probably we'll also get into concept of, so this is 6 important funnels. So if you go to YouTube, you can search for, let's say Tony Robinson funnel, or let's say digital marketer. They have their own funnels. All big people, they have a system in place, and I'll be training you some click funnels. I want you to build your own funnel and automation system, which can really bring lot of value to your client, and which will also take your skills to the next level. So what I want is, I want you to get into funnels also, which is so important. And I'm going to give you all infrastructure, all tools, so that you will start building your funnels. Because I can tell you, when you go in an interview, people are going to ask you, how are you going to generate leads? So just saying that Facebook will generate leads, Facebook ad will generate lead, probably this is not correct answer, right? Keep this in mind, because all businesses who are putting a lot of money, they know that source is okay, source is important. A lot of optimization also goes when you start running Facebook ads or LinkedIn or Twitter ads. We'll talk about those things. But next thing is what happens on your website or on landing page. So this is again very important. So we're going to talk about all full-fledged system. I want you to pay attention on this is really important, which is nurturing also. So we'll talk about a system which can really nurture. So let's say, for example, if leads come in from Facebook, how are you going to nurture them so that they ultimately take actions which you want them to take, right? So which is very important. So can we have a system which can generally have nurturing system? I'll give you example of funnels also in coming videos, so that you will exactly get to know what exactly is funnel. But this is something which is very important. So this is again very game changing skills you need to have. Next is, I also want you to get into automations also. So in this course, we are using a lot of automation. So we will train you on, let's say, Pabbly. So we use Pabbly. So the Pabbly is also there. Zapier is also there, which you can use. So what I want is, I want you to use Pabbly or Zapier, and I want you to get into automations, right? Which is very important because if you're targeting big companies, they might have a lot of sources, they might have a lot of channels, and they might be using a lot of software straight from, let's say, they might be using CRM software. They might be using some Facebook ads automation softwares. They might be using, let's say, email marketing, which is very important. They might be using some Google Analytics, or they might be using some other analytics software. They might be using email marketing. So what I want is, I want you to get into automation so that you can connect everything together, so that you will save a lot of time and you will bring more value. So automations is something that you need to look into it. Even if you check my website or other landing pages, you will see we work on a lot of automation. So we're going to work on, so we do have all softwares with us, we do have everything with us, and what I want is, I want you to work on automations. When I talk about nurturing system, keep in mind we need to have a system which can really align your all digital marketing practices. It should be aligned to your customer journey. So this is important. So I'll talk about how you're going to have how you can align all your team members so that you will start chasing customer journey. So when you chase customer journey, you'll make a lot of money. So that's how you build trust with your customers. So we'll talk about customer journey as well. Anyways, we're talking about performance marketing in this course, and we'll talk about a lot about performance marketing, but this is again very important, right? So check my other videos where I'm talking about, what is the difference between a performance marketer and a digital marketer. I'm talking a lot about these things, but this is again very important. So you're going to work on a lot of softwares, but what I want is, I want you to get into some other important skill sets. Apart from this, I want you to good with measuring results, which is measuring results in KPI. So measuring results and KPI, which is important, right? So you should know how you want to measure results when people are coming on a website. So it's very important that you should know Google Analytics. This is so important, Google Analytics. You should know, very important, you should know Tag Manager. That's why we have kept, Tag Manager course. So I will take you deep insight into Tag Manager. So we want to track actions on the website. Keep this in mind. There where the real money is. So we'll look into Tag Manager as well. So Tag Manager. Because what we want is, we want to measure all actions which customers are actually taking on the website, straight from scrolling to clicking button or watching a video, so that we can make some meaningful decisions. At the same time, we want to know about all KPIs, which is again very important. And I can tell you that once you optimize sources, it's very important to optimize your website for customer journey. This is something which is very important. So I want to measure, if people are coming on my website, how many of them are actually watching my video, how many of them are actually clicking on a link, how many of them are actually clicking buttons on my website, and which buttons they are clicking more. There are a lot of things that we want to measure. So what we want to measure is, we want to measure, let's say, video views, which is important, or scroll depth. So this is again important. So we're going to work on views, scroll depth. We're going to work on, let's say, button clicks, which I really want to measure. I want to measure what all pages they visit, right? So I'll get to know that what all pages they're visiting when they are on my website. So pages, let's say pages visit, what all pages they visit. So we're going to work on three things, which is, number one is source. So we're going to optimize source, we're going to optimize pages, and next is, we're also going to optimize actions. So we're going to work here, which is very important, is we're going to work on micro conversions and macro. And we'll also talk about some very important, which is offline conversion. So we'll get into this part as well. So I hope you're getting a point which I want to tell you is, so you need to have some extra skill sets, right? So you should be good with measuring. You should be aware of automation. You should be aware of AI. You should be aware of media planning. You should have all proven results. Keep this in mind. So what I want is when you go for an interview, you should know that, okay, you know automations, you know media planning, you know tag manager, you know analytics, you know top strategies to optimize landing pages, you know how to measure results across all platforms. So all these things we need to look into it. So these are the skill sets you need to have. So that's why I've written here, which is you need to have results. This is number one thing that we need to pay attention. Keep this in mind. Results. Question is, do you have results? Which is very important. So so even if I'm hiring, what I want is, I want someone who can really deliver results, which is important. And this is the reason why people will pay you more money. Keep this in mind. Number two is, this is an example which I showed to you. So we're going to have a lot of use cases for search engine optimization. We're going to have a lot of use cases for Google Ads. I'm going to give you training. We'll look into it. Number third is, we'll get into social media. You can check our brochure. You can check our syllabus. So this is just an example, which is, I want you to get into funnels. I want you to get into automations. I want you to get into customer journey. I want you to get into measuring KPIs. You should be good with measuring KPIs. I want also you to get into media planning as well, which is important. So if you want a good job or good company, they're always going to ask you, let's say if I'm having a 1 lakh budget, let's say for my e-com store, and if I ask you that I'm into, let's say, clothing, and what I want is, I want you to start a budget of 1 lakh rupees, and can you tell me what all things can I expect? So you have to decide where you have to spend this money. So are you going to spend this money on top of funnel or bottom of funnel or middle of funnel? So, and which audience you'll be targeting. Find what kind of creatives you will run, and can you do forecasting? So I want you to be good with media planning and forecasting, because I've seen with all big campaigns, if you cannot forecast it, you cannot optimize it. So it's again very important. So we'll get into media planning. I'll give you some very good examples, but only one thing that you need to understand from this video is, you need to learn about system. Keep this in mind. So it's not about Facebook ads. It's all about a system. So system is a game changer. So which we'll talk about in this entire course. So I've done a lot of changes. I hope you're getting my point. There are a lot of things that we need to look into it. This is a quick video, and I hope you're getting my point. So the point is, do you have results? Do you have better results than your, let's say, colleagues? So we'll go ahead. Then your friends, then other professionals. Do you have more skill sets? Do you have analytical abilities? Can you do media planning? Can you create a full-fledged automation system? Do you have idea about AI? Can you write emails? How many emails have you sent? How many budget you have spent? So all these things, we need to get into it. And one thing I'll tell you, when you start spending money on it, you'll start getting a lot of confidence, right? So we will do it together. But the point is, if you're looking for a job, always think, what kind of results do I have? This is important. Fine. What all skill sets I need to have? So there are some skill sets, For example, there are some very important skill sets which we'll be discussing in coming sessions and classes, so that you'll get to know, okay, these are some high paying skill sets, which is very important. So I want you to work on ClickFunnels. I want you to work on some, email marketing software. I want you to work on Zapier. I want you to work on CRM. I want you to work on Facebook ads. A lot of things. But I hope this is clear. Let's go to next video. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I wish you all the best.